Nearly 180,000 people have been told to leave their homes as wildfires are ripping across Los Angeles.
It is safe to say that the Palisades fire is one of the most destructive natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles.
And that's only one of the 5. At least 10 people are dead. Nearly 10,000 homes and other structures have been burned as firefighters day and night try to contain these major wildfires. But the scene in Los Angeles reflects tragic losses that are felt here at home in Canada as more wildfires have sparked across our country in recent years. To explain why we are seeing more wildfires with this kind of intensity, we're joined by Gordon McBain. He's Professor Emeritus of Geography and Environment at Western University. Good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Pleased to be with you.
I'm glad to have your expertise on this story. We've been following it all week long. I want to start by showing everybody just where these fires are burning. So here's the location of the 5. The Palisades and the Eaton fire. You can see those there on your screen at the bottom. They've been the largest, and they've been described as, well, as we just heard in that clip, the worst Los Angeles has ever seen. Then you couple that with this new report today saying that the 2024 was the first year our Earth was above that threshold of 1.5 degrees. So describe, first of all, the weather factors that led to these 5 fires and make them so hard to get under control.
Well, we're seeing a global warming, as you just said. We've gone over 1.5 degrees C. That's the global average. And I should stress that the changes in Canada are roughly twice as much as that on average. And the changes in the Canadian Arctic maybe 3 to 4 times as much. And so when we talk about 1.5, that includes the oceans, which are warming slower because of the water mass of them. And so we're seeing a very much increased temperatures around the world. And over California, it's been warming up, and increasing number of extreme events is really of concern. The World Economic Forum's most recent statement of the biggest risks facing the globe over the next 10 years is extreme weather events. And they're going to be happening more often.
You know, while you're speaking, we're showing our viewers, these are live shots of what's currently happening in LA County. We know extreme weather events are happening more often. They're happening earlier. This seems to be the case in California, but why are they starting up already? What were the conditions there?
Well, the conditions, I'm still not totally 100% sure, but I know they are being caused by the warming conditions, the slope of the winds blowing down from the mountain slopes and bringing with them the, quite frankly, the fiery particles of the fires that have started. The actual source of the fire starting is not totally clear. They can often start by a lightning storm, or they can start by an accidental fire that was started in somebody's backyard or something like that. And once they start, they propagate rather dramatically, as they have in this case, to all over the area. I could just note that I'm very concerned about this, not only scientifically, but also personally, since my son lives in Los Angeles area, just not far from the Eaton fire. He's been not yet told to evacuate, but he's ready to when they ask him to.
I'm very sorry that you're also dealing with that concern as well, Mr. McBain. Listen, our Prime Minister, you probably saw this, he was asked about Canada's wildfires yesterday because last year our country experienced devastating losses from wildfires in Alberta, British Columbia, and the Northwest Territories. The news this morning that we have experienced this hottest on record in 2024. That's according to Canada's national summaries. 5,686 fires were recorded last year in Canada. This must concern you as a scientist. We know climate change is the reason, but can you explain specifically what's leading to more wildfires?
Well, the heat conditions, and also the fact that the ecosystem, the trees in this case, are one of the major problems. In the case of the fire in Los Angeles, the fact that there are palm trees in everyone's backyard, the fire, once it gets initiated somewhere, can just propagate across the urban areas in ways we haven't seen usually in the past. But these fires start normally in a natural area, but then once they get into the urban area, there's so many, in the case of Los Angeles, palm trees and other things, and vegetation, and also the way the city is constructed makes it very vulnerable. And we have to find ways to reduce the vulnerability of these cities and Canada, we're trying to take approaches by giving guidance and direction to organizations and communities to how they can reduce their vulnerability to wildfires by having nothing right next to your house that can burn fire up, and also to make your house less vulnerable by having different construction approaches that so certain kinds of siding, like a brick house, doesn't burn up on the outside. And also, you got to worry about your roof to make sure it's not very vulnerable, depending on the kind of.
Mr. McBain, I want to thank you for joining us this morning, and also, send our support to you. I know that having somebody who's living very close to these fires must be really concerning right now. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you, and it's important that you keep communicating this so that we can get people to take responses and say, "Oh no, I don't need to do that." Well, they quite often do need to do that, and thank you for attention to this.
Well, we'll continue to tap you for your expertise. Thanks so much. If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.